I come from a little bitty town on the southern tip of Texas, and there's not much going on around here, but what it does have going for it is amazing, real, authentic Tex-Mex food. I spent the first 18 years of my life growing up in South Texas eating the local Mexican-American food. And then I moved to the Northeast and I found out the idea of Tex-Mex, which is food that was totally different than what I would consider Tex-Mex. And I've also made a trip to Mexico and I've realized that what I ate in South Texas is also not completely Mexican. So today I'm going to share with you what I believe to be real, authentic, craveable Tex-Mex food. Now I wanted to go through this video in a sort of chronological order, starting with breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. But I didn't want to start this video without covering the basics. Whenever you think of Mexican food, no matter where you're from or what you're doing, you have to think about tacos. And you can't think about tacos without thinking about tortillas. Where I'm from, you can get some incredible tacos and you can get some incredible tortillas, which come in two forms, flour and corn. You can get some pretty decent flour tortillas north of the border, but for some reason, corn tortillas to me seem to be not as good quality the further you get from the border. So the corn tortillas I get in my hometown are the best I ever had, and they're only second to the tortillas that I can get if I go just south of the border. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh Tanya, you can get maseca in any store and make your own tortillas, but the kind of tortillas you get with maseca are not the same as the ones you get from a tortilleria in South Texas that you would probably be using to make tacos. And I think it could have something to do with the corn. Maybe the local corn is different. I'm not sure, but they're amazing. In any case, I digress. The tacos in South Texas are amazing. They're a little different, a little unique. Of course, you can get a classic beef taco, but for me, some of my favorite tacos are the organ meat tacos. One thing you're gonna learn about South Texas Tex-Mex is that they don't waste any part of the animal. So my favorite tacos are made with tripas, which are the small intestine of the cow, and they're slow cooked in water and then fried up so they're crispy and soft and chewy and yummy. And another thing that's delicious is chicharrones, which is just like pork rinds. They take the skin of the pork and sometimes they'll take a little meat with it and they fry it up, and oh my god, it's heaven in a taco. This is a fried pork skin with a little bit of meat on it. The best way to do it. Beef intestine, which is my favorite. The reason I'm talking about tacos at all is because one of the #1 Tex-Mex foods that you'll find in Texas is the breakfast taco. And when I say breakfast taco, I don't want you to confuse this with breakfast burrito. Actually, in general, I would not consider burritos a Tex-Mex food. What? I've done a little research on Wikipedia and I don't even think burritos are Mexican food. You can find very faint references to burritos in Mexican history, but I never saw them until I went north. So a breakfast taco is typically a flour tortilla filled with usually eggs and something else. My favorite is the potato and egg, but you can also get all sorts of other fillings, including chorizo, beans, cheese, and they're usually very large and they're usually served with a side of refried beans, and it's a very hearty, delicious breakfast. So for lunch today I got a breakfast taco because the breakfast tacos are so good here, and I got migas, which is just basically corn chips with eggs. They're really popular and they're really delicious. It's sort of funny to have corn tortillas in a flour tortilla. Breakfast tacos are just so common and expected where I'm from. You can even get some at the gas station that are very high quality. The idea of eating a taco that you bought at the gas station probably doesn't sound that appealing, but around here, it's not that bad. Breakfast taco, not burrito. So one of the delicious things you can get in South Texas that's only available on the weekends is barbacoa. Now you may think you know what barbacoa is because you've probably had it at Chipotle, but what it is here isn't what it is at Chipotle. What it is here is a mix of all the meat and fat that's in the face of the cow, and it's some cheek, sometimes some tongue, and it's slow cooked until it's very tender and delicious. It's good with a corn tortilla and some salt. You just roll it up. If you add a little fat, it really lubricates everything. The meat is tender and like a pulled pork consistency. And with that salt, it really brings out the natural flavor. Very good. Another delicious Tex-Mex treat that you can only really get on the weekends is menudo. Menudo is a soup made with hominy corn and made with the cow's stomach and large intestine, and it's mixed together with a spicy broth, and people like to mix in all sorts of things with it like lime and chili and onion and cilantro, and it's even good to dip your corn tortilla in. It can be very spicy, especially if you add a lot of chili to it. The hominy corn is very soft and delicious. It's always been my favorite part. And the cow stomach is gelatinous, but it has a variety of texture in it. It's definitely an acquired taste, but if you like it, it's the most delicious thing in the world. Of course, you can't have a South Texas Tex-Mex holiday without tamales. And tamales are a common Mexican food. You can find them in Mexico and in California, but the way they're done in South Texas are just a little more unique. The most common are pork, and the second most common are bean, and you can find a variety of other fillings, but those are the basic ones. And the ones you usually get in California have like a red or green sauce, but the ones you typically get in South Texas don't have an additional sauce. So one of my favorite things is, of course, dessert, and there are two things that I think that are sort of #1 Tex-Mex sweets. One of them is pan dulce, which translates to sweetbread. And you go into a sweetbread place and you grab a tin platter and some tongs, and you just grab whatever you want, and then the lady at the front will bag it for you and count how much you owe. And there's all sorts of delicious things. I actually went to this specialty place that sells really teeny tiny sweetbreads, and they're absolutely adorable. So another Tex-Mex dessert that I absolutely love are raspas. And raspas are just Spanish for snow cones. And in South Texas, snow cones are made with shaved ice and sugar flavored juice. And they have a lot of interesting flavors that are uniquely Hispanic, like leche flavor, which is actually really good, even though the idea of a milk flavor sounds gross. And it's so popular now that you can find all of these artisan places that'll do really crazy specialty snow cones, including Baby Yoda shapes and snow cones decked out with lots of candy and treats on top. Oh, it's perfect. And it's a thing that I can't really find in the Northeast like I find in South Texas. So today I only went through what I consider to be the basics and the very tippy-top delicious things there are in Tex-Mex food. I'm sure I missed a lot, so if you want to comment on any of that, I encourage you to put those in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when new videos are available. Adios!